Welcome back. Well, during the month of February, we thought it would be a great time to spotlight some of the Black businesses here in our community. I spoke with Cynthia Wood and Antonia Poland from Davis and Wayne's restaurant.
Well, welcome. I am joined by Cynthia Wood and Antonia Poland from Davis and Wayne's in Ottawa. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us as we spotlight some of the Black businesses, Black-owned businesses during Black History Month. And one of the things we see, and we'll get to this, of course, you all also have part of it is what you do with your fruit, the dip fresh displays and all of that. But let's start by talking about your restaurant and how you got started. You've been there, what, about 3.5, 4 years?
That's right. Yeah, we've been here since 2018. It's been an interesting ride and a wonderful ride. And we have no plans to be anywhere else.
Talk about that, getting started. Like, so, what made you all say when you were coming up with the concept, Davis and Wayne's, and what type of restaurant you wanted to have? How did all that come about?
Well, we came up with this concept back in 2012 when we were in Coolidge Park when Dip Fresh started, and we used to literally pray for customers. People would not believe that. I would be down in Coolidge Park, and I moved here from Chicago with my children, and I didn't know anyone. Literally, I came here and started a business venture, and this is all we've been doing from the beginning. So we started out in a storefront. It took us 8 months to get it started. And during that time, I didn't know anything about Coolidge Park. So people would come and say, oh, it's the lady down there and she does strawberries and sandwiches and salads. And they was like, well, how did you end up in the park? And people would tell me they don't come to the park. I thought it was kind of crazy, but I was in real estate. So I looked at like some of the best areas to start a business. And I figured, okay, I would get like tourists as well as locals who would come and visit the park. So I thought because during the off seasons, locals would come, but when the tourists were coming, some of the locals didn't come because it was a parking issue down there. So during those times, we were down there, but we didn't have any customers at times. So what I would do is pray for customers, and I would work towards what my dreams were, which was Davis Wayne's. And we created a business plan, a logo. We had cards printed out. Cynthia even told her father that we was naming the business after him.
Went to him and said, Dad, we're naming this business after you, because Davis Wayne's is named after my father. My birth father's name was, my stepfather's last name is Davis. My birth father's name was Wayne. He died when I was 10. My mother remarried when I was 13. So I had two great dads. And that's where the name comes from. So we went to him and said, Dad, we're naming this business after you. We got these cards made up. We got a whole business plan. And then crickets for 5 years. Right. We kind of felt like the frog in the Bugs Bunny cartoon, that when the curtain's open, nothing happens. When the curtain is closed, you're working furiously, but nobody can see. So it just took time and patience to bring this about. And that happened for us in 2018.
And let's fast forward to that, where you are right now, and talk about, one of the things that, again, you all are a Black-owned business. You're in Ottawa and Cambridge Square. Talk about the challenges that you all have faced over the last few years. If you want to sum it up quickly, as far as other people and they're thinking about, what, I want to start a business. Maybe I want to move in certain areas of the community. Did you ever face any resistance or from any members of the community, or has it always been, open arms? Or just talk about the challenges that you all have faced.
I think our challenges are more business challenges, which everybody has. In terms of the community, we couldn't ask for being in a better community. Cambridge Square is wonderful. We've been welcomed with open arms here since day one. So we haven't had those challenges, but we have had business challenges that for a lot of people, startup businesses, small businesses in particular, there are lessons that you just don't get in a business class or in a business school. Some of those lessons are hard knock lessons. We certainly hope to be able to feed into other people so they don't have to experience some of the things that we did.
And I would encourage anyone to start a business if they want, just because, I mean, in the beginning, people was like, you're going to go out to Ottawa? Why would you go down there? I mean, out there, and you've been downtown and in a honey museum. And I said, well, I look at it as an opportunity, and it's better to be at the forefront of something and then at the back end. So I looked at it as an opportunity to start off in another area that was growing, and it has paid off for us. It wasn't always easy. But nothing in business is. I mean, when you go into business for yourself, and some of the things that we've needed help with, those resources aren't out there. There's no class to tell you the things that we've learned. I wish it was.
The taxes are due on the 15th and 20th, and no matter what you do, you gotta pay them.
Right, they want their money.
Lessons about insurance, in terms of business insurance, lessons about hiring. Oh my goodness, it's difficult.
It's a lot of lessons.
The pandemic, and of course, we talked about, of course, so many restaurants that say, Latrice, that's our biggest challenge right now. That's why we've had to cut hours. That's why we've had to pivot. I want to, before we run out of time, talk about, Davis and Wayne, kind of an upscale soul food place. Tell me about some of your signature dishes, drinks, and some of the other things that people can find there.
So at Davis Wayne's, you can find one of our #1 sellers is our slow cooked pot roast. Everyone comes in, we do hand cut that in-house, as well as you can get a steak on steak night. Usually you can get it Thursday all the way through Saturday. We try to make sure we don't just have it on Thursday, although that is guaranteed on that day, but we try to have it each night as far as the weekend. And our signature steak is filet mignon. So you can come in and get a meat with 2 sides, which is the filet with 2 sides, grilled to order, and it is $28, which I promise you can't beat. And we actually hand cut all of our meat in-house. We peel all the potatoes, still mash them with one of those old school mashers, which is actually kind of funny. So here, how we test our chefs is by, when you come in, they come in with a whole bunch of knives, but we get them potato fillings. And a lot of people don't like that.
And then it really isn't talking about that homeschool cooking, and people, that's why people come there, but also the atmosphere. You'll have live music some nights, and some signature drinks and different things that you all try to offer the community.
Well, stay with us. There's more to come on this edition of Trends on 3. Here's some more businesses who were featured this year at Chattanooga Business Elite's Black Excellence Awards.